I can't even believe this. Like, they just keep coming out. Like, I'm just trying to leave the house. Like, this one is dead for some reason. I don't even know how it died. I just want to leave the house. Like, can I please leave? Like, can I please leave?
Oh! If you're hunting for an apartment in the DMV, that's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, not the Department of Motor Vehicles, then you know that finding a good apartment is not for the faint of heart. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into some of the worst rentals in the DMV. I'm talking rats, roaches, bed bugs, mold, you name it. And of course, this is getting even more exposure thanks to the TikTokers who are taking to social media and reporting these horrible slum landlords at these apartments. Just seeing the videos makes me so grateful for what I have. So my name is Rogan. This is the This Bahamian Gyal podcast. On my platform, I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. So let's get it.
Love me or hate me, God knows you made it. When he let his eyes on me.
Lord, I want to thank you for what I have. My place is not the biggest, but it's clean. I don't see no roaches, no rats. I couldn't imagine coming home and seeing no freaking, like, you could imagine having guests come over and then you got to be distracting them because your friend crawling on the wall? Ugh! Chill, please. So no long talking, let's just jump right in.
Alert, stay away from Heather Apartments in Temple Hills.
They're
still advertising the apartments as newly renovated.
Oh, no, they didn't.
They got
no, they didn't.
stains and leaks and mold. Like you said, the bats, the heat doesn't work. I mean, the AC don't work and the heat don't work. Basically nothing works. And it looks terrible. Pests, rodents, ugh. Yuck. Apartment complex have been operating for like 3 years and didn't even have a business license. And without having a business license, you can't collect rent. So they were already out of order. So then they waited 3 years, got the temporary license, and then 1 month later filed hundreds of failure to pay notices on all of them residents.
I'm like this though. If I live in unit 108 and I'm dealing with the mold factor, let's leave the bats out of this. You know, why it's so serious? If it's mold, can I fix that little unit? I mean, especially if I ain't paying rent. Can I fix the unit myself? And shit, I'm living rent free. I'ma just stack until I gotta go.
And those are type of rental offices where they get an attitude with you.
Oh,
yeah. What you in this junk for? It is clean.
I emailed y'all and I
we
said,
didn't see anything.
Ma'am. But
right.
See the bed bugs bites?
Yeah.
Right.
We need documentation. We need you to bring one bed bug in.
I had to catch.
Please.
I did. I literally did have to catch a bug and take it down in a Ziploc. So yeah.
This is the rent is right. How much y'all think a 2-bedroom is?
I'm going 17. Tough, Leslie. We said it at the same time. Hold up.
17.
1694.
Okay.
Oh, Price is Right. You get it. I went over. Let's talk about this crazy lease in the office not answering the phone. I came home to a gas leak in the building. I called at 8:30. Thank God I took the maintenance number. Fast forward 5 hours. The fire department is telling me to get out my building.
God damn.
Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that in my mind, I'd be like,
exactly.
Okay, you got to use your own brain.
Yeah.
If you came home to a gas leak, you need somebody else to tell
and
you.
now you're sleepy.
No, I'm out.
Now you're sleepy.
Child, she took my breath away with the bats portion because I know with mold and mice and freaking rats and stuff like that, but bats, ugh. And what's crazy about this area, and a lot of renters will tell you this, is that they try to charge like an arm and a leg. Like it's like they're charging for a luxury apartment, but you're getting like, think Coming to America, like when Akeem and Semi went to like Queens to go and find a place, like you're getting that. But they want to be charging $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, sometimes $2,000, sometimes more for an apartment. And like this lady said, you got to use your brain because if you come home to a gas leak, I don't need anybody. That's like, I'm just immediately calling 911 and I'm not going back in the building. And yes, you're going to have to let me up out of this lease. And a lot of these companies are so shady. Like they know these places are infested. They know they're nasty. They're not doing any proper pest control, and they lie to a lot of these folks. They'll show them a really good unit. Y'all need to get into the habit of like asking to see the actual unit. And sometimes they'll say, oh, it's not available, but like walk the whole area and ask people to like, what's it like living there, and really go online and see what people are saying about these apartments, because a lot of times these folks are telling you straight up, like, do not move here. Like, I don't know how many times like you can read 10, 20 comments or reviews from someone saying, do not move here. It is a nightmare dealing with the office. And you're like, yeah, but it's a good price. You're going to be moving into a hellhole. Every single place, like when I was looking in apartments, I was opening up. Don't just go in and be like, oh, this is so nice. I don't care how nice the area is. Like, open up the cupboards, turn on the water, go inside, like in the bathroom, look behind like little crevices, see if there are any holes or any, look above where, like in the closet on the like the top shelf, look every single place, because that's how I found roaches in one of the places I was looking at. But that one was in Alexandria. Ciao. Watch my video, because that'll explain a lot. Let's go to the next video, but ugh.
Bro, paying $2,500 a month for a luxury apartment in the DMV, and this is what it's gonna get you. Like, nothing really beats a Jet 2 holiday. Like, this is actually insane. And they're just not doing nothing about it, not moving quick enough. Like, this thing was filled with whatever substance that is. And it just popped, and it was like, it exploded everywhere. And there is whatever that is. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I am so stressed out. Like, this is so disgusting. This probably is not good to inhale. I have asthma. Like, this can't be real life.
See, when these things are happening, like, I'm glad that they're like notifying, like putting it on TikTok, but they need to be calling like housing authority and that sort of thing. Because this is just disgusting. I see someone says, call the office of tenant advocate and ask for help. Ooh, child. Yeah. That's when you put in your rent into escrow. Nope. You know what also bothers me is that a lot of these leasing offices will, as that first lady said, cop an attitude when you call to say something is wrong. When you're first signing up and they're giving you the tour of the apartment complex or wherever, it's like all you see is their teeth. You see 7,000 teeth because they're so happy to get you to sign on. And then the minute you sign on and you get your keys, it's like a lot of them just neglect you. It is crazy. Crazy. It's better, if I can be honest, for you all, unless you're paying like a super high price and you're in like a really, really great luxury apartment. And sometimes even the luxury ones here in DC have like rodent infestation. So be careful about that. But unless you're really paying like top of the line money to be somewhere where you know it's going to be clean and like pest free, it's probably best to go and like rent from an individual like landlord, like someone who has a condo or a house. Just rent from that person, because if you're a good tenant, you're paying on time, that sort of thing, like they're more attentive and they're going to make sure to maintain their place more than a lot of these other places. Like, that's my advice. Like, just go and see if you could find someone who will rent their condo or something like that to you, because this is insane. All right, so this next one is about black mold. To my Hispanic viewers, please excuse this girl because I know some of y'all might get offended, but let's go.
Oh, now y'all got sis fucked up? We got another case of black mold. Here you go. I say, food is mold? He say, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, I can't say. But they pick me up and they say, we have a job for you. You speak Spanish? You speak Spanish? Bobby, you speak Spanish? No, Bobby, don't get me in the camera, Bobby. Don't get me in the camera. But I fix it for you. I have it ready in a week, no problem. And you really can't be mad at him because he just doing what they told him to do. So you about to cover the mold up with some dry wall? That's what you telling me you about to do? No, so Bobby, they say this is not mold, Bobby. I touch it, me and Waldo, we touch it. No, it's not mold. It's a dirty. Me and Waldo, we clean it up. That's it, Bobby. No, that's it. There is no way. Do you guys know the dangers of black mold? Like, seriously, not even all jokes aside. Headaches, fatigue, dizziness, confusion, coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, So what needs to be done is call the Department of Buildings for people having these issues, okay? Ask to speak to the commissioner. Call the police. Then on top of that, the shit is leaking in all the bathrooms. Then there's I think it was a 3-bedroom apartment that sis had, and one of the kids' rooms there was shit juice leaking. And you know, we'll get more into that now. These complexes get too much money to be planning my spaces, okay? And then let's get into the construction site in the bedroom. Yeah. It's giving Minnesota Avenue, and look at all those shoes that got damaged. This ain't no skinny Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. You know how much them Uggs cost. She got 2 pair. Clock it. Run sister fucking check. What they say, Sparks at Oxon Hill. Don't do it.
Yuck.
Oh, I can't even believe this. Like, they just keep coming out. Like, I'm just trying to leave the house. Like, this one is dead for some reason. I don't even know how it died. I just want to leave the house. Like, can I please leave? Like, can I please leave?
You gonna go up there, nigga?
Yo, that is the funniest thing. Don't no. He's gonna piss on you.
There's a big ass one behind the outlet.
Move.
Where's the chicken at? She got it already?
In the fridge.
Keep in mind, all the videos that I posted were taken after maintenance came and said that they already fixed the issue. So on the 14th, I went back to grab a few things because I left in a panic and I just didn't grab everything that I needed. So I ran into the pest control dude on my way out, and he went back in there and he like collected all the dead rats and put them in a bag, and he wouldn't let me take a picture of them or a video because he was just like, no, you can't do that in my own house. Anyway, that was a bag of rats. And this is why I hate Kenmore Pest Control too, because how does it say November 14th, not home, no key, when I literally have the guy in the background of my video trying to take a picture of the dead rats when he was trying to tell me not to take a picture of it in my own house? How did that happen? How was he inside my house when he just says not home, no key? First of all, how did he even leave this piece of paper inside the house if he didn't have a key? He literally told me to leave the door unlocked and that he was going to come back and like do something to help the situation. Like, they literally always lie all the time. They say something.
So she's in Silver Spring. Child, let me tell you something. The way I would have jumped out my skin. I do not like pests. I could deal with mosquitoes. They're annoying, you know, but I cannot deal with like roaches and rats and centipedes and snakes. And I would burn my unit down. I will burn my unit DOWN.
I might be moving out of my DC apartment because this place smells like sewer and I'm scared I'm going to wake up to a rat nibbling on my toe. I know that sounds dramatic, but that's literally what I've been living through for the last year. If you live in DC, you may have been in a basement apartment or maybe lived in a basement apartment, and the issues that happen in a basement apartment are not for the weak. When I moved here 3 years ago, I knew that there were some things that would happen in a basement apartment, but I was willing to allow it because the price was in my budget and it was very spacious in comparison to a studio apartment. But what I have been dealing with for the last year has not made it worth it. So let's take it back to October of 2023 when I started getting a sewer smell in my bathroom. And I'm talking like it smelled like feces in my toilet that hadn't been flushed for days. On top of that, my shower started leaking at the same time, and that leak lasted for 40 days. And one thing that was appealing to me when I moved here was having a landlord, because I was so tired of going through these massive management companies that didn't give a fuck about you. So I was like, perfect, I have a landlord. Anytime I need something, I'll go directly to him and I won't have to go through like a maintenance team that's not going to actually fix my problem. And although my landlord is great, he has a life of his own, which means that he's not really prioritizing my issues. And
I'm going to stop right there. Her landlord has a life of his own, so he's not prioritizing her issues. Girl, I don't know what kind of landlord you have, because this is a business relationship. This ain't like your home girl or your homeboy and they have their own trouble. Like, you paying him or her. Well, he said him. You paying him. So he has to prioritize your issues in your house. I just wanted to stop right there because I'm like, No, he has to. You're his tenant. Now, it's great if you're understanding because, maybe the unit has a lot of problems and he's constantly fixing stuff. And then, you give him a little bly or a little pass when he can't get to it immediately, something like that. But you can't say he has a life of his own. He chose to be in this business where he is renting his unit. So let me tell you something. A lot of y'all think like having tenants is like, so like set it and forget it. Like, oh, I'm just going to make this money while I'm asleep. This is passive income or whatever. No, you actively got to work for this income because in a unit, in a house, whatever you're renting, something always breaks. Something always needs some sort of fixing. So you can't just leave your tenant alone. If you have an understanding tenant, that's cool, but you gotta be on it. If not, you're not going to have a tenant. And if you have a good paying tenant too, you really need to be on it. Now, if they behind 2-3 months, take your time.
My issues don't make my place unlivable, but it makes it very uncomfortable to live. So, like I said, back in October 2023, I noticed a sewer smell in my bathroom, and we could not pinpoint where it was coming from. We've had plumber after plumber after plumber come, and they all have different opinions on what the smell could be coming from. Now, let's fast forward to May of 2024. We had a plumber come, and as soon as they stepped in my basement door, they were like, ooh, it smells like sewer gas in here. Do you have a gas leak? So they called the fire department, and they're like, no. Funny enough, I had smelled that same thing a couple of days ago. Fire department comes, they're like, no, could be maybe your cat's litter. And I'm like, I'm not stupid. I know a gas smell when I smell one, but they don't take women seriously. So they were like, oh, we did a little detector, a gas leak detector, and we didn't get anything, so bye.
I 100% believe her on that because we had a situation here at our building. Was that earlier this year? And everybody kept smelling like this gas leak or something was happening. And like the fire department came and we were like, we're so happy. And they were here for all of like 3 minutes. They're like, nope, no gas leak. Boom. It's like, they don't even like sit around just to be a little bit more thorough. Like, I know they're trained and it's like I'm hoping that they can detect, but there had to have been something was off. They're like, no, 3 minutes and they're gone. And she's absolutely right. I feel, this is my personal opinion, that when it comes to women, they don't pay attention like that. Because so the women who were talking to them, they were just like, no, there's nothing here. All right, see you later. Gone. And that's it. And earlier she said something like, it's not unlivable, but it makes it uncomfortable. Well, if it makes it uncomfortable for me, I understand that her distinguishing the two. But some people are extremely sensitive to smells. I'm one of them. And so if I came home and every single day my house smelled like someone had defecated in the bathroom like days ago, I would be like disgusted by that, like physically ill by that. So yeah, no, I can't live in that. I cannot live in that. And this is not a one-off thing. No. Helicopter, please go your way. Please go over there to the White House.
And then the plumbers come and say, we smell gas. So the fire department comes again. They open my wall up. They try and do another reading for a gas leak. And they were like, oh, we had to move the insulation in the wall out of the way. And we definitely got a gas leak. So I was living in an apartment with a gas leak, a sewer gas leak, for God knows how long. And they eventually fixed that. But I still was having a sewer smell throughout my basement. Since then, we've had multiple plumbers come. They haven't been able to figure out the issue. They've been trying a bunch of different things. We've tried some solutions down my pipes. Nothing has worked, and it still smells like ass in here. Now, the sewer problem is not the only problem I'm experiencing in the basement. We also have a family of rats hanging out in the walls. Yeah, you heard me right, rats. They have found their way into our vents, and they just hang out in there. And not only are they just hanging out and running around, they're biting through the wall. And in my bathroom, they bit through the wall and we had to cover it up. And now that I know that they're capable of doing that, I'm terrified. So I say all of this to say, this may be a problem that they cannot find a solution to. So I might be moving soon. So I need your help. I need to figure out where I'm going to live. I currently live in a house and I live in the basement apartment of the house, but I do share the kitchen and the living room space with my roommates, and I'm ready to live by myself. So I want to find an apartment in DC.
Gyal, go to Zillow. Don't live with anybody. Don't live in the basement if you can help it. I always say if you can help it, because some people cannot help it. It's like all they can afford or all they can do. I know y'all want to be close in the city. Like I live in the city, right? But if I were in that position, I would have to go farther out. If you have a car or you near the metro or something like that, just go farther out to get somewhere that is clean, that is stench free, and that is safe and just better. Because just trying to be close to Alexandria or close to like downtown DC or whatever and sacrificing like your sanity at home and your safety. I can't have no roach crawling up, especially when I do on YouTube. I have so many moving parts. I'm watching my camera. I'm watching my audio over here. I'm watching the video. I'm making sure everything is good. I'm making sure I'm in frame. I ain't got time, because if you see any roach crawling up, I know what I would do. There were some really good videos that showed the roaches, because there's like a lot of videos in the DMV about like apartments with like rat infestations, but there were some that had good roaches, but I don't want to get demonetized because it had like copyrighted music, and so I am not putting those in. So I found one, so let me just run with this one for now. But a lot of them out there have plenty roaches and bed bugs, child.
The dead and alive roaches spoke for themselves today, so there's no need for me to add resident reviews. This is our DMV apartment hunt, part 29. I drove past this complex on the way home, and per usual, my curiosity took me somewhere I didn't need to go. Okay, so we're looking at a one bedroom at 722 square feet for $1,400. So obviously the layout and the windows are not my problem here. My issue is how nasty this kitchen was. There were dead and alive bugs in that refrigerator, and that is disgusting. And what is that in between the stove? Even rewatching this is getting me mad because I don't like that people have to live like this. And regardless of how low the rent is, I don't think it's fair for tenants to be subjected to pest problems on their first day of moving. So the bathroom was on the small side, but the floor and ceiling were uneven and damaged in multiple ways. And I was so confused because the cabinet was fighting back. I really don't even know how to rate this one, but let me know what you think and I'll call y'all back.
See, when y'all politicians coming around to y'all in DC and y'all just automatically giving them votes and all these different things, right? DC, Maryland, Virginia, all of y'all. This is what y'all need to be talking about. This is what y'all need to, like, strengthening legislation to really punish these people, these landlords, when they have things like this. I have to research this to see, if there's a clause or something like that, other than like a gas leak or something like that, or black mold, that you can just get out of your lease without there being consequences financially, or it being put on your your credit report or anything like that. Because I know when it's like a deadly situation, you could definitely get out. But when it comes to like rats and roaches, they might think that that's just manageable. This is not manageable. A lot of these people that I saw online, they had like roach infestation in the freezer. How is this even possible? In the fridge, in the freezer? I would think they'd be like, ugh, that'd be the off limits place. But this is what y'all need to be pushing y'all Congress people and y'all representatives about. So y'all could just have a way out when this kind of stuff happens, because this is disgusting. I also feel especially sorry for folks who live in like government assisted housing, like projects and that sort of thing, because a lot of them say that when they complain about infestations, be it roaches, bed bugs, rats, that sort of thing, they're penalized in some respects, and they're seen as, or considered to be like a problematic tenant, and it could have like adverse reaction for them or adverse effects for them. And so a lot of them just deal with it. And that's so unfortunate too, because, I always say just because you're poor doesn't mean you're unclean. There are people who keep their spots really, really nice. But if your neighbor who's adjacent is nasty and they have an infestation, or if the building itself is just disgusting, it's going to be coming into your apartment. You're already poor. You got to be dealing with that stuff too. But I also feel sorry for them, because a lot of them will be complaining like, oh, I have a government voucher for housing, and this is what I live in. And you see the place and you could see that they're trying to keep it clean. You could tell like they're trying to keep it neat, But then you see like the roaches peeking out. You see the rats peeking out. So this is just disgusting. And I'm glad that they just kind of blew this whole thing open. Just keep putting it out on TikTok. Just put it out. And don't be afraid to call these apartment complexes names, you know, as long as it's true. If it's true, put it out there, because people need to be warned not to go in and live there. And like I said, for those of you who are watching and who are going to be apartment hunting in the DMV, like really pay attention to the reviews. It took me a long time to find a spot, because I would go to a place, get a feel for it. When the person who was giving me a tour would walk away, I would ask people. I remember being in an elevator with a friend of mine, and we were asking two guys who came into the elevator what they thought about the place. And these two guys, they were black fellas. They were honest. And the representative from the leasing office was kind of like looking like he was trying to like say, no, that's not true. But I'm like, who am I going to listen to here? Who am I going to listen to? The two people who in it? Who telling me what the deal is, or this guy who just wants my money, you know? So you have to pay attention to what people are saying in the comments. Go on those apartment review sites. Go and check it out for yourself. Go after hours, because it ain't just about infestation too. Sometimes if it feels a little sketchy in the evening and you're somebody who works in the night, you don't want to be dealing with coming home to a poor element outside and you feel unsafe, especially if like you're a single woman or a single mother or anything like that. Just get a feel for the place when the sun goes down. Go there too and listen to see if it's really, really noisy. Ask people if things get stolen. Like, ask the pertinent questions, you know, and make up your decision make up your mind from there. But don't be afraid to rent from individual landlords in condos and townhouses and houses. And also, what I was going to say, don't be afraid to go farther out. If you have a vehicle or you have access to the metro, don't be afraid to go farther out, because, you know, sometimes that's just better. Sometimes that's best. I don't want to say I lucked out, because there was not luck. It really was not luck. It was all God, G-O-D. Let me give him his praise, because I found this place. This was the last place. This was the last place I was going to look. And I had said, okay, there's a place I could settle for that was clean. It was in a wonderful area in Alexandria. I didn't want to stay in DC. I wanted to go to Virginia, and I ended up right back in DC. And I was just when I walked through the door of my apartment, I tell you, it's like something came over me and I just started crying, because I had seen so many bombed out and depleted, to borrow a phrase from Dave Chappelle, some bombed out and depleted places. It was just really nasty. And so I was so happy to walk in here, and it just felt like home. So I'm very fortunate, very blessed. And I hope that you all who are in your apartment search in the DMV, that you are blessed too and find the right home for you, where you can entertain guests, that you could come home and have a peace of mind. You could take a bubble bath and not have to worry about no creepy crawlies coming. I have not bought a can of Raid since I've been here. Even when them damn ugly mosquitoes were coming through summertime, I shut my window, put a little vinegar down or honey or whatever, trap them, get rid of them. And that was it. Nothing else. I've never bought any Raid or anything. So happy. So happy. So grateful. Anyway, I think this video, this is way longer than I expected it to be. But drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys made it to the end. If you made it to the end, drop a roach emoji down below. Seriously, or a rat. Please share your horror stories. You don't have to have been in the DMV, but if you are, I'm happy to hear it, because, you know, we neighbors. Be right here in the city. But if you're from New York, if you're from Chicago, Miami, wherever you're from, if you're from the UK, if you're from the Caribbean, please drop your comments down below and share your horror stories. I love reading your horror stories, and I do get to see a lot of them, even if I don't get to respond. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening if you're listening to the podcast. If you prefer to listen to the audio podcast, please tune into iHeartRadio. What else? Apple, Spotify, everywhere where you get your podcast. Follow me on Instagram at This Bahamian Gyal, on TikTok at This Bahamian Gyal TBG, on my blog at thisbahamiangyal.com, and of course, sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Somebody said, I would love to sign up for your newsletter, but I don't have any money right now. It's free. It is 100% FREE. So please sign up for the newsletter. All the information is in the description box. And if you want to support this channel financially, please become a channel member. Again, everything in the description box. And you can also buy me a coffee. Garnett Brown, thank you very much. Thank you so very much to you. I really appreciate your support. Really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Mwah. Toodles.